I'm driving all around Cambodia on a motorcycle solo. What can go wrong? Hi, Eric here. Today I'm going to be starting a 6+ day motorcycle trip all around Cambodia. And I don't know how many days it's really going to be. It could be 6 days planned, but it could be more than that. It could be less than that. It just kind of depends where the winds take me. Now, I've taken motorcycle trips before. I've taken some solo motorcycle trips, but I have never done it in Cambodia. So I'm a little bit nervous, but hopefully it's going to go okay. It's going to be quite a long trip, so I'm going to need a decent ride. And this I'm going to be taking my 2014 CB400F. The CB400F is the Japanese version of the Honda CB500F and was only released there. Its two-cylinder engine produces 46 horsepower, which makes it faster than most of the cars in the country. This bike is 10 years old, which is a long time to be in Cambodia, so a few months ago I restored the entire motorcycle to close to new condition, and I'm curious to see what this trip is going to do to the paint. This is a road bike with a very comfortable upright seating position, and I've put these nice all-terrain tires on it in case I go onto dirt a little bit.
Say bye-bye. 1 minute. Bye-bye, Daddy.
Oh, bye-bye, William.
Oh.
Enjoy your ride to Bangkok, boy. You're going to go to Bangkok today, yes?
Bye, Daddy.
Bye.
Drive safe.
Oh, I'm going to try.
Love you.
Love you too, sweetie.
Yes.
They go to Bangkok, and I'm going to, well, Cambodia. I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen during this trip. So let's find out. I'm ready to go. It's 6 in the morning, and I'm off. For my first day, I was striking out east on Highway 8, then skimming the border of Vietnam on Highway 7, before branching off at the little town of Snuol to Highway 76, which goes straight to my destination for the day of Sen Monorom, the capital of Mondulkiri province. That's over 350 kilometers, which is a lot for Cambodia. Setting off, the traffic was terrible for hours on the single-digit road, being passed by absolute maniacs driving tourist transit vans. In fact, all of the single-digit highways were terrible during the trip. After a couple of stops at PTT stations to rest and getting farther and farther from Phnom Penh, things finally started to open up, and I felt like I was really starting to get in the countryside, passing cute little towns with traditional wooden houses. People say that Cambodia is poor. You look at these houses, you see the truth of it. There are a lot of poor people in Cambodia, but boy, I do think those houses are awfully charming. Maybe they wouldn't be so charming to live in, but charming to look at, I have to say. After many hours of driving, I pulled over at the Snuol PTT station, the last of these large gas stations I would see for days. Well, I've stopped at another PTT station here on day one, but this is not just any PTT station. This is the last one. This is the Snuol PTT station, and it's new enough that there's not even a 7-Eleven, and it's also the furthest one out. This is going to be the last station for days. And then after that, I'm going to be in some of the most uninhabited parts of Cambodia for the next 2 to 3 days. So there will be less opportunities for help if there's a problem. Hopefully everything will be fine. This entire district, though, that this station is in, Snuol, is only 35,000 people. And then after that, it's just a lot of open road, and I really don't know what to expect. So hoping it's pretty good. I'm just here to enjoy my last Cafe Amazon. What do you want? I'm middle-aged. I'm not going to go without my comforts more than I have to. I thought I would show you my motorcycle setup since obviously I'm not riding an adventure bike. So again, this is my 2014 CB400F, and it's about 10 years old, as the date would suggest. It is not related to the old Honda CB400s. For storage, I have this 20-liter dry bag from Decathlon. Since I don't have a top box, I do need to find a way to keep everything in good condition and dry, as I even have a laptop in here. This dry bag is actually made for swimming and snorkeling, and so if it does rain, no matter what kind of rain is thrown at it, everything inside should stay completely dry. This bag is held in place by two of these straps. And there's one, and there's two. As far as what is holding the straps in place, or what are they attached to, you'll notice that they go under the seat. And they are actually attached right here to the frame, the internal main frame of the motorcycle. So there's no reason why that dry bag should go anywhere. I also have an extra tank bag right here, which just stores a bunch of the stuff that I don't really care if it gets wet. For example, there's a rain suit in there. And that rain suit is what's going to keep me dry if I get stuck in the rain, since before long there won't be a lot of gas stations and things like that to hide under if it does rain. Spare glasses, a few tools, and whatnot. Everything is in there that I need that can get wet, even some sandals. This bag is held on just by magnets. I also have a spare pair of directions for the planned route, should I somehow not have a phone or whatever, who knows, might happen. With that, I left Sra'aem and finally encountered some roads where I could really open the throttle up. I drove over perfect black ribbons of asphalt in beautiful empty jungle. Eventually, the landscape turned more pastoral, and soon I found myself arriving in the town of Sen Monorom in Mondulkiri province.
Anyway, it's just a lovely little town, and I do mean little.
Now that I'd made it to Sen Monorom, it was time to finally get to my hotel, which I had arranged in advance and never seen before. Did I pick a good place? The answer was yes. Well, I've arrived at Mondulkiri. It's been a while. I've been on the road since 6:30 and now it's 3 o'clock. I've taken plenty of stops, but now I've finally arrived. I want to apologize for the quality of my audio. I had a terrible accident involving my microphone, in which I just misplaced, lost my microphone somewhere. But nevertheless, I would like to show you where I'm staying in Mondulkiri, and it's called Mondulkiri Pizza Bungalows. And here we are, Mondulkiri Pizza Bungalows. Look at that, isn't it charming? It's so nice, look at this. Up here you've got these lounges where you can just relax and look at the very beautiful pool. And the just generally very nice property, look at that, wow. As soon as I arrived, the very lovely owners gave me one of these coconuts. And believe it or not, the coconut came from this very tree right here. And what's inside the room? Here's my pizza-shaped bungalow. And here's what's inside. Here we are, look at that. There's a mosquito net, which I probably won't need because mosquitoes in Asia don't bite me. High ceilings, and most importantly, an air conditioning. I don't care what you say, that's the most important part. And then we have the bathroom. I have not looked in here yet, and it's certainly a nice enough bathroom. Most importantly, it has the unlimited hot water. That is a biggie. And so you've also got this rain shower. Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's a great little room. It's got a couch. It's got a fridge. It's got a TV. It's got plenty of plugs right by the bed. That's where plugs should always be, right by the bed. And how much this entire room cost? This room was $25 for one night. $25. Now that is super, super, super cheap. Now I'm just going to lay down after a shower and enjoy my coconut right here on the porch. As I woke up on my second day, I decided to hang around and see what Mondulkiri was all about. But first, I had a problem. My motorcycle yesterday was making quite a lot of noise on the back and a lot of clunking whenever it went over a bump. So now that I'm here in Mondulkiri, I've got a mechanic looking at it. He seems to think that's the linkages that are down here at the bottom of the mono shock that are making such a loud clunk. So he's here packing them back up with grease again and tightening everything down and putting it back together. And hopefully that will resolve the problem, just because I am 2 full days of driving away from Siem Reap. So I really don't want to go and start the trip by going right back to Phnom Penh, assuming I even can. So at that point, there's nothing for it but just to wait. And I said there's a coffee shop up here somewhere. Oh, it's right here. It's a fancy coffee shop. Looks like the place is called Chum Songka, which is right next to Atlas Tires. Oh, the upstairs is actually pretty nice. And you can just come up here and sit, enjoy your coffee, get a view of the little town, and also some of the mountains I'll be driving around tomorrow. You just sit down and feel the breeze because there's no windows or anything. That's actually a mighty good mocha. Quite yummy. Now that the mechanic has gone through and tightened everything up and readjusted my chain, see if I can really make the noise or not. Hear that? Quiet. Thank you. The guy wanted $5, but I gave him 10.
I gotta say, that mechanic actually knew his stuff. I thought it was the chain or maybe that there was something broken in the linkage, but he said, no, all you need is to just get it relubricated. And then that was it. And so we relubricated, and it's not making any noise at all, which is great because I have days of travel before I get to any other good-sized city, which is Siem Reap.
Now that my motorcycle was repaired, I had heard that the drive in Dak Dam to the southeast of Sen Monorom was very beautiful. And it was. Rolling hillsides everywhere, and even free-roaming horses by the side of the road. I'm used to nice views, but some of the stuff you see out here outside of Monorom is just... And I'm not stupid. I know that it's like this because of deforestation, and that's why it's so pastoral and why it looks so different from when I drove up to the Vietnamese border just down the road here. But boy, it's still really nice, and I highly recommend you take a car or a motorcycle and you just drive down to Dak Dam. For my next stop around Sen Monorom, I planned on seeing some elephants. Unfortunately, it turned out that all of the elephant sanctuaries on Google Maps were not elephant sanctuaries, just where you buy tickets to elephant sanctuaries. So no elephants. At least there were local animals to say hi to. And here we have some babies poking around in the trash. There's a guy behind me. He herds them along with the motorcycle. Goodbye, buffalo. After that, I wanted to see local hill tribes at Palung village, but the road was so terrible, there was no way to actually get there.
Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope. I'm out, I'm out.
So I gave up and thought I'd explore Sen Monorom town itself some more. Mondulkiri is a cute little town, and this walkway that you see here, it extends all the way up the hill, down the hill, and all the way down the highway, where you can see some of the local tribal people kind of walking up and down the hallway. So it's a cute little town. Not really much in the way of bars or nightlife or anything like that, and that's fine. That's not what people come here for. It's just a little town in Cambodia in the middle of nowhere. I like it. I've got to say, Monorom loves its monuments. You've got this one, this one, this one, that one, and this one, which looks like a clone of Independence Monument in Phnom Penh. And that's just the ones I found so far. So having checked the population, it's a little bit over 10,000 people. So right now there's one monument for every 2,000 people in Monorom. Impressive. Oh, look guys, it's number 6. With the town thoroughly explored, I went back to my hotel for more repair work. Speaking of things that are broken, I have here these 2 fancy motorcycle gloves that cost $65. And I bought them one day before the trip. Beautiful brand new gloves. The idea is that if I end up on the pavement at some point, then I don't deglove my hands because I have real gloves. And unfortunately, I made the choice to cut a hole immediately as soon as I got home in the fingertip of this glove so I could still use my smartphone. And then I found out that, in fact, these work just fine through the gloves on phones. It turns out they all do now. You know, I feel like 90% of the stuff I learn in life are through the twin vehicles of lack of impulse control and stupidity. This is a perfect example of that. But at least that should keep this from getting any worse. I woke up the next morning excited to go north on Highway 76 through some of the most uninhabited parts of the country, including 2 wildlife sanctuaries, before striking west in Ratanakiri province toward my destination for the evening, the town of Stung Treng. Ready to get going, I said goodbye to my hosts and rode out into the Cambodian countryside. Almost immediately upon leaving Sen Monorom, the scenery became very beautiful, full of mountains and hills. But soon after that, it became completely empty until there wasn't a soul to be seen in this almost entirely deserted region. I'm here about an hour and a half north of Sen Monorom, and I have to say, it is absolutely empty out here. Like, I'm not just saying that. Look at the roads. I haven't seen another soul for over half an hour. Not a car, not a motorcycle, nothing. In fact, there's actually no sign of human presence at all, with the exception of these power lines right here and the road itself. But other than that, it is absolutely quiet. I've never been anywhere in Cambodia where I couldn't hear anything at all, except for a few bugs chirping or whatever the heck those are in the woods. It's actually really, really nice. On either side of the road is just trees, trees, and more trees. And me. And that's about it. Eventually, people and other signs of civilization did begin to appear, which was good because I needed gas. Getting gas at a big fancy gas station was out of the question, though. So when you're in the Cambodian countryside and you're far away from things like large gas stations, this is how you're going to get your gas pumped. Okay, one more. Moi. And you just tell them how many liters you want, and they'll just pump it in there by hand. Pretty cool, right? We don't know how much it's going to take to fill the tank, so... Okay, 4 liters. After filling up, I was quickly back on the road, enjoying everything the Cambodian countryside has to offer, including charming houses, pretty rivers, a bit of rain, and very beautiful temples. It wasn't until late in the afternoon that I made it to my hotel in Stung Treng, Savet Guesthouse. When you go up to the room, it's actually really nice. Go outside, you have this nice balcony. Look at this. Get a nice view of this part of town. That's my room right there. So going in to this room, it's quite large and quite nice. Fancy bed. I've already hit my knee on this once, so I think I'm going to be doing that all night. But it's a lovely room, and look at this nice view you get of these charming houses over here. Look at that. Most importantly, it's got air conditioning. Looking in here also is a big plus. You have a toilet that contains an unlimited hot water heater. Very important. And how much does all of this cost? With the air conditioning and the shower and the little TV and the beautiful view? $18 for one night. Only $18. It's a great deal. Now, if you were a very astute observer, you may have noticed I was only carrying one 20-liter bag and maybe 5 liters of tank bag. So you're maybe wondering, well, how am I doing my laundry? The answer is I'm doing my own laundry. I'm doing it all by hand and wringing it out as much as I possibly can. And then we'll just see if this dries. If not, it'll have to be a second day to get everything dry. We'll see how it goes soon enough. Now that I've arrived and walked around Stung Treng a little bit, I can say it's a cute little town. Like, I really like it. First of all, it's got this really cute little boulevard, and then right across from it is this really nice looking market. Going inside the market, of course, right away you've got bread, as it's the French influence. And look at all this great stuff. Like, everything that you need to live in Stung Treng is right here. Over here you can get food that's already pre-made, all set here. You've got you got soups and chickens. You got some intestines over there, some nice chicken legs, looking good. Hello, hello. So you got your spring rolls right there. You've got your chicken legs. You got your innards, like your intestines, and you got some liver right there. Looks like a stomach. Pretty typical fare, actually. Looks good. I can get a hat that says USA in Stung Treng. That's pretty awesome. One of the things Stung Treng features is a riverside, because like many Cambodian towns, it's along a river. And the riverside is a major attraction for all the locals. But they also have, and this sets us apart from a lot of other places I've seen, huge trees. I don't know what kind they are, but some of them just completely overhang the road, and they look wonderful. And over there we have the famous fish roundabout. An excellent monument. What a pleasant little town. I'm really impressed. You can see that someone is raising bird nest soup right there in their attic above their home. Look at all the starlings going around everywhere. Just look at the size of some of these massive trees along the riverfront. Look at the charming buildings. Look at that building. That's amazing. Beautiful. And right in the middle of it all, you've got a boulevard or a place you could have a fair or a celebration. Beautiful little town. Stung Treng also has this very beautiful temple. Look how colorful and just beautiful it is. Look at the columns on this temple building. It's beautiful. They've got the green seven-headed Naga staircases. Look at that. Okay, you got me. Five-headed Naga. But look at this. It's amazing that this is here. The best part, in my opinion, is again just these amazing trees. Look at this tree. One of the most massive trees I've ever seen anywhere in my life. This thing is 3 meters wide at the base. No doubt. It's 10 feet wide. I was not expecting Stung Treng to be so charming. And look at this temple. Just down the street from the last one. Look how old it is. I have never seen anything like this temple ever in my whole life. Look at this. It's got the old paintings. Look at this. And this one here, it's got the old wooden roof. Incredible. Why is this temple not more populated? I don't understand. It's incredible. I love it. I love this temple. Outside the temple, this super charming riverside continues. Just look at this nice scene. All along the river, you have these cute little restaurants where they deliver right across the street to these platforms overlooking the river under these giant trees. It reminds me of Luang Prabang, to be honest. Everywhere you look are these beautiful, charming old wooden houses. Look at that. Look at that detail. Look at the beautiful old roof. Oh my gosh, all so good. Why, they even have this super lovely river walk. Absolutely covered up in huge, old, beautiful trees and street lamps. You might not want to eat your lunch on that though, but oh my goodness, what a charming little town. I just love it. Stung Treng, 5 out of 5 stars, no drama. For dinner, I think I'm going to get this seafood restaurant. The one with the fish. Look at that fish going right there. So I'm not sure just what kind of food they have here, but the decor is great. Look at this place. Anyway, you can go and sit out here and eat as well. You can sit here and enjoy the water from the river, as well as the sound of the fish spitting into the water constantly. Here's what I've gotten at this restaurant. Well, the first of two things. I didn't know there'd be so many of these amazing looking fresh shrimp. It looks so good. Alright, so the way I like to eat these fresh shrimp is get a bunch of the sauce, right? Okay, then so you got the sauce and you just put your shrimp right there, right? Oopsie, that's fine. Then load it up with tons of garlic. Look at that. So good. Now, to be honest, I had not realized just how large this portion of fresh shrimp was going to be, or I would not have ordered this as well. Boom boom, shrimp fried rice, super fresh shrimp. The whole shrimp is in there. So yummy. Now that is some quality. So good. Now that I had enjoyed a wonderful meal, I made the plan for the next day, which was to drive west from Stung Treng on National Road 64 to make a stop at the ancient capital of Koh Ker, before backtracking north on 62 to the tiny town of Sra'aem near the Thai border. I left extra early that morning and said goodbye to Stung Treng.
Goodbye, Stung Treng.
Went over a beautiful bridge and hit the road. As I got out into the countryside, I noticed that most people were wearing white. This was because it was nearing the end of Phnom Penh, a major religious festival in Cambodia. I also noticed that the normally laid-back Cambodians were even more laid-back than usual, including the local law enforcement. Even the road cows seemed more lackadaisical than usual. It all made for a lovely trip through the landscape, which was getting more beautiful all the time. This may be Cambodia, but some of the scenery here reminds me of Laos. You've got what almost looks like karst formations, and then in the distance you've got more. I didn't expect to see that sort of stuff in Cambodia, but I'm glad I did.
I am faced by a large herd of cows, and I don't know, should I go through them? Should I go around? Looks like they're trained for motorcycles. Okay, no problem.
It wasn't long after that when I arrived at Koh Ker. One of the big stops I wanted to make was Koh Ker Temple, and that's where I am right now. I'm excited to see it. It's a place that I have found that most people live in Cambodia didn't even know existed. You have to go through this walkway, apparently. I don't know, I guess these were all standing at one point. Oh yeah, because you see on the right. Typical Angkor, they have big pools of water. So cool. There should be a lot of Buddhas in here. And also in here. And in these shrines, there should be Buddhas or lingams. But there aren't. And when the French came in the 1800s, they looted a lot of the monuments. And some of them are even in their museums right now. You go through a gateway and holy cow, look at this. It actually looks like, kind of like a Mayan pyramid. Wow. It's incredible. Looking, it looks like you can go all the way to the top. I now know why all the pictures from the internet are from a drone from up in the sky, and that's because it is just so large and it's surrounded by enough trees that it's hard to get like a really good shot of it. But wow, look at that. The gaps are so small here that they almost just disappear when you zoom into them. And I'm just guessing this place is 800 years old, so it's a ruin, but you can see how well built it was. The Cambodians have been so good as to build a staircase that goes all the way up to the top. I think I'll try it. They've also nicely numbered the stairs so you know how much torture you've put yourself through. The view's already pretty impressive just from up here. And this is just the first story. Again, look how tightly these blocks fit. There's no way you could slip anything in here, and not even a piece of paper. Very, very, very impressive. Look at that. Alright, and after stair 167, I'm at the top of this ruined pyramid. This was a major city 11 or 1200 years ago, and for a while was probably even the capital of the Angkor Empire. And this whole area was just rediscovered in the 1800s. It's since been partially open to the public. This was all uncovered, but much of the whole site you actually can't go to because of all the unexploded landmines that have not been taken out. This whole area has not been completely demined, and so you just kind of have to stick to the areas that they say. And now back down, which I imagine is going to be quite a bit easier than it was going up. Thanks, gravity. To be clear, although the main attraction is this temple, this was actually a part of a much larger city that covered many square kilometers, and that was Koh Ker. Of course, there's a moat around this temple complex because the Angkorians were so big on water management, and there's a very huge boree or lake that I passed on the way here. Like, it's massive. I'm sure it was for drinking and irrigation. All of this, everything that you can see, used to be a huge reservoir built by the Angkorians for Koh Ker. Oh, look at this little guy. No worries, the giant millipedes don't bite. After visiting the pyramid, I decided to drive around the city a bit. I saw there were many little roads leading to many other temple sites, all of which nobody was visiting. The rest of Koh Ker City, nobody even visits anymore. In the distance is Prasat Chen, which is just 50 meters off the main road, and nobody's here. This was probably a special place to somebody a long time ago, and now it just gets passed up on the road because it's not important. Time claims all, even the great city of Koh Ker. Now that my sweltering tour of Koh Ker was complete, it was time to make my way to my overnight halt in Sra'aem. But first, I felt like an ice cream. As I think I've mentioned before in some of these videos, there's a million places to stop anywhere in Cambodia. Case in point, I've just stopped at this cute little place right here beside the road in the middle of nowhere. You see the giant tree across the way there, and you can see the cute little wooden houses everywhere and the palms. Very nice. So I'm just here to enjoy a Coke and a Cornetto ice cream cone. You can get Coke anywhere, apparently even in the middle of nowhere in Cambodia. Feeling cooled down and refreshed, I sped north through mountains and scenic landscape. By the end, I was ready to rest and relax in Sra'aem, a tiny burg with a total population of just 1,517 people. This is Sra'aem, population 1,500. And what does this town have? It has these cows. a gas station in Sra'aem. I'm staying in Heng Sokchamroeun Guesthouse. I think I'm the only one there. Behold, my overnight halt in Sra'aem. They put me up in another corner room. This one was $15. And here is the room that I get. Of course, it's got air conditioning. Wouldn't want to rent without that. It's got a king-size bed, some nice bars, and a huge window. Wow. The window is at least 10 feet or 3 meters wide. Very big window, and you can see actually some really nice little flowers and stuff out here. Here we have the toilet, which has the unlimited hot water. That is all the lighting you get in there. Okay, so, but I'm sure it'll be fine for a night. I don't need a palace. And so this is the place. Well, with nothing to do, I might as well sit down and work on my master's degree, which is the reason I haven't been posting on YouTube for the last year. It's been keeping me very, very busy. Actually, this is the very last class that I'm working on right here, and so as soon as that's over, which it will be by the time that you guys see this video, then I'll be able to post regularly again, so stay tuned. For dinner in Sra'aem, I have managed to locate a restaurant, and I'm eating at this place, which looks like this on the outside. Got the bike just sitting here. Let me show you what I've ordered. As usual, I've ordered too much food. I've got hot dog pizza. I had to try that. Of course, some fresh shrimp because it was available on the menu for less than $4. And this beef dish. Let's try this this beef dish. I'm actually not completely sure what it is. All right, beef dish. Let's give this a try. Very good. I recognize this. I don't know the name of it, but I used to eat it all the time in Bangkok. Same flavor, very good stuff. I've just been informed that this is water buffalo, which tastes exactly like cow. Good stuff. Nice and lemongrassy. And then, of course, I'm going to have to try the fresh shrimp. The shrimp have already been fully detailed. So, good. Spicy. All fresh shrimp is inherently the same. It's about the sauce. That's a spicy sauce. Somebody would love that if she were here. And then for the pizza, the pizza is very cheesy. They didn't skimp on the cheese. That's good. They could have put some more sauce on it. There is some other kinds of sauce here on top of the hot dogs. And I've already had a piece. It was quite good. And they also have some crab stick in there as well. In the end, this massive amount of food ended up only being 55,000 real. And with the beverage, that ended up being 60,000 real, and that is just about $15. $15. I would say, Eric, that's expensive. $15 in Cambodia. Yeah, and I ordered for 3, so really $5 each for this really great food. Highly recommended. The next morning, I could have gone straight home, but there were a couple of things I wanted to see first near Siem Reap, some 270 kilometers away, which is no small distance in Cambodia. On the way, I passed through many little villages, all of which had their own unique roundabout in the center of town. People were still wearing white, and it was clear everyone was getting ready for a party. After a while, I was getting a little stiff and I thought I'd take a break. Well, I've stopped for another break. It's your pretty typical countryside place where you can stop and grab your munchies, and your drink. This is a pretty typical Cambodian motorcycle in the countryside. This one actually has a lot more parts on it than one would expect. You often find them in the countryside without any of this up here or the fender or anything. It's almost like a practice in how few parts can you use and still have a functioning motorcycle. As is usual for these types of places, it's just like a business run out of your home. I won't get too far back here because this isn't my house, but you can see the kind of home that these people have. It's wooden. I mean, it's charming, but let's be honest, I imagine that it's not so nice in there. But I mean, it's still kind of charming at the same time. You got the hammock, so you spend your day. It's kind of like resting and relaxing. I think when you're not having customers. Anyway, I'm gonna use this time just to take a little pressure off my rear end and rest up and have a nutritious snack of rice and LC crackers. Ice. After buying all of the local kids some snacks, I branched off of National Highway 68 and onto a remnant of the Royal East Road, which used to go all the way to Laos for one stop that I was really looking forward to. Wow, it's a hot day today, but I can tell you that it was worth coming to where I did because I love bridges. I love riding motorcycles over bridges. And this is the oldest bridge I've ever ridden across. This is Spean Top, and it has been a continuously used bridge for over 800 years. This bridge was built by the ancient Angkorians as part of a huge highway, and that was back in the 12th century. This bridge is something like 150 meters long, which is ridiculous. Look at this. Look how far it goes. You can see my motorcycle out there in the distance. It's got, I think I read 27 different archways. It's hard to see the actual arches so well now, even though you can take some of the ancient steps down to the side of the river. But I drove across the bridge, and cars and trucks still use this for local traffic. It's amazing to me how well these people could build. To make temples where you can't even see any gap where the stones fit together 800 years later, or a bridge that's used continually by road traffic 800 years after the empire had essentially been forgotten for a long time. If that's not cool, I don't know what is. Now that I had enjoyed the magnificent Spean Top Bridge, to get back to the main road, I unfortunately had to go over the worst bridge I had ever crossed so far in my life.
Not an ideal bridge.
So just to be completely clear here, the only way across this bridge with the water flowing underneath it is to drive over these rails. So I've got to go right across the rail, not just here, but in a couple other places, or I'll just go right into the drink with this motorcycle. And that would be an early and also unsatisfactory end to the trip.
Just a little bit here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That could be the most questionable bridge I have ever crossed. Oh my goodness. Ah.
After that hair-raising experience, I came across yet another horrible bridge, but one that was still much less horrible than the previous one, and then decided I was definitely ready for another break. Well, after the incredible heat at the bridge, I have had to stop and get something to drink, and in fact, I have been so thirsty that I splurged and I bought 2 drinks. Expensive insanity, you say, but no, both of these delicious drinks were a grand total of 6,000 real, or $1.50. Lemon tea, chocolate frap. It's actually a charming little place that I'm at here. We have some rice fields again. Previously there were no rice fields, but this part of the country has them. You can also see the nice lotus pond back there. Boy, you can really hear the Chum Ben mobile. After recovering from my bridge experience, I drove on. It was hard not to notice all of the endless, beautiful rice fields everywhere, so I had to stop. Look at this. Look at all the rice. It just goes as far as the eye can see. There's nothing here but rice and cows. Rice and cows everywhere. You kind of get a little bit sick for greenery when you live in Phnom Penh because there's not so much of it. Then you come out here and the amount of green is incredible. So in a way, I'm a little bit sad to be going back to Phnom Penh because I'm going to miss all this wonderful green. After crossing another terrible bridge, I was on my final leg to Siem Reap.
That's the way to travel.
I was starting to see more traffic than I had in days. And then the traffic got downright bad, so I knew I must be close to Siem Reap. As soon as I got into the city, I checked into my hotel for a shower. Siem Reap is a bit expensive, so I decided to spend a little more, kind of splurge today, and do $24.20 for this room. Let's see what there is. Oh, hey, yep, as you can see, it's pretty nice. It's got air con, which is already air conning. Very high ceilings. And I have not been past this bed, which is normal softness. Got a cute little day bed there. Got a cool little chair in the back there. And in here is the toilet. What is the toilet looking like? Looks like a perfectly reasonable toilet with a rain shower. Nice. You can bet I'll be using that soon. Okay, a broken blind and the staircase, and I have no idea what's up here. You will find out as I find out. And the answer appears to be roof access. Oh, private roof access. Huh. It's not the prettiest roof access, to be honest. Not sure I would sit on those. And you do get this. So, best to go back down. And not too often, lest you slip and die. Oh, and what's this? We have a leak coming from up there. There's some really nice old tiles on the floor as well. So there it is. Minor imperfections aside, it's a great room for $24.20 a night. Close to downtown Siem Reap too. Look at the helmet's done to my head. Just rubbed it kind of raw, almost like a sunburn. Guess I better get a new helmet liner. And a shower. Like, I really need a shower. Like, oh, it's so bad. I'm gonna get a shower. Siem Reap is basically the tourist capital of Cambodia. Quite similar to Chiang Mai, actually, in my opinion. It's a nice place. It's a charming place. I've been to Siem Reap plenty of times before, so I've already seen everything there is to see, including the charming old town, the night market, the Angkor temples, the really attractive river, and of course, Pub Street. So for that reason, I'm just going to spend one night here, and then I'm going to go home. For my final ride, I intended to go all the way from Siem Reap to my home in Phnom Penh in just one day by following National Road 6. I had mentally prepared myself for some traffic, but it was so much worse than I imagined, with it just being an unending line of cars. After 5 days of little to no traffic, this was absolutely intolerable.
Oh my goodness, this is just horrible traffic. I've been passing people for an hour and look, there's just no end.
I had been passing vehicles arranged in one single uninterrupted line of cars on a 2-lane road for 90 straight minutes.
Oh my god, I hate it so much.
So when I saw a PTT station, I just had to take a break from the traffic. While enjoying a breather, I took some time to ponder it all. As I sit here eating a 7-Eleven burger at Cafe Amazon, the closest one to Siem Reap when traveling to Phnom Penh, which is about an hour and a half away from Siem Reap, it occurs to me that it won't be long at the rate things are going here in Cambodia before they have one of these PTTs at every 30 kilometers like they do in Thailand. Whether or not you think that's a good or a bad thing is up for debate, but change is happening in Cambodia, and it's coming whether you like it or not. Look, they even have a Dairy Queen. After that, it was time to begrudgingly get back on the road. I could have gone home on the less crowded, much newer and wider National Road 5 on the other side of the massive Tonle Sap Lake, but I really wanted to make one last stop on the way home. I am making my one final planned stop before going back to Phnom Penh on the way back from Siem Reap, and that is here. And this is Spean Proptos, also called Kampong Kdei Bridge, which is not as long and not quite as grand as the bridge I was just at, which was Spean Top, but it is definitely better preserved. Like the last bridge, this one is also in common use, but only by motorcycles, and I have seen a tuk-tuk go across it. People still use this bridge every single day. For the better part of 1,000 years, people have been using this bridge. This very spot is on the 5,000 real bill. One big difference is that you can actually see the arches on this bridge pretty much all the time. Perhaps the most impressive thing about this bridge, despite the fact that it's 800 years old and still in everyday use, a lot of use, is that it has all 4 of these massive Naga heads. And they're attached to these almost perfectly intact balustrades that go along its entire 85-meter length. Imagine that it's 800 years ago and you come across these massive Nagas at this bridge. And what these Nagas are saying is, look at the power and the majesty and the glory of the Angkor Empire. Things have unfortunately changed a bit since then, as time takes its toll on everything. But wow, is it beautiful. After enjoying the bridge in Kampong Kdei, I set off again towards Phnom Penh. But then, I had a problem. Okay, so you see this crash peg right here, alright? Now, that's there to make sure that the bike doesn't get too badly damaged if it falls over in a low side crash. But it looks like, when I heard a clunk, clunk, clunk a second ago, what it actually was this one falling out completely. It looks like it's still in there a little bit, so that means that the whole thing just broke or sheared off for no reason. I didn't actually hit anything, so I'm not sure why this happened. I can't screw a bolt in there right now because I'm going to need a damaged bolt extractor to get this other one out. So that'll have to wait till I can get back to the Honda dealer in Phnom Penh. I'm going to look on the bright side. I still have 4 engine mounts left. 4 out of 5 ain't bad, right? Back to Phnom Penh. Aside from a lot of traffic and a pickup whose wheel had just fallen off, the rest of the ride home was pretty smooth. Well, at last I've made it home in one piece. My motorcycle in 2 pieces, but all the important pieces are there. After 6 days and 2,000 kilometers, I am just exhausted and I'm ready to relax and play some Valorant. The motorcycle did a fantastic job. There were no significant malfunctions, just something that needed to be lubricated and a cheap aftermarket part falling off. But that can be dealt with quite easily. The motorcycle started quite clean, and as you can see now it's just super dirty. But I guess that's just to be expected. I mean, it's been all over practically the whole country now. And it is just in need of a good wash to figure out what kind of cosmetic damage has happened during the course of this trip. So now for what everybody I'm sure wants to know, the price. How much did this trip cost? 6 days motorbiking around Cambodia, assuming you have your own motorcycle. How much did it cost? Well, for everything, all inclusive. I mean, the hotels, the food, the gas, the paying $10 for the guy to fix the motorcycle that was making noise. Everything was $385.20. That was the entire cost. So it was not expensive for a 6-day vacation. Looking yummy. Wow, what a great trip that was. Wonderful trip. And if you're asking me, would I recommend this trip to other people? The answer is, if you can drive any kind of motorcycle, yes, absolutely, you can do this trip. And there's GPS availability, there's mobile 4G availability throughout almost the entire country. So Google Maps, you can just use that the entire way. The motorcycle doesn't have to be a big bike the way that I have. You don't need something that can go 180, 200 kilometers an hour. You can just take a Honda Scoopy or a PCX or a Click or a Dream, because I often stayed 70, 80 kilometers an hour, never went above 100 or 110, just because it's inappropriate and generally unsafe. I mean, a cow could jump out in front of you. But I mean, other than that, just go slowly, and you can take almost any motorcycle. You don't need a dirt bike. I only went on any dirt roads at all to see things like the bridges at Kampong Kdei or the pyramid at Koh Ker. You don't have to take a fancy motorbike, and in fact, there were plenty of people on the road in much worse motorcycles than you probably own, and they were completely fine. If you're worried about breakdowns, I can tell you without any exaggeration that the Cambodian people are possibly the nicest people I've ever met in my travels all around the world, and they would bend over backwards to help you if you had a mechanical problem. I have no doubt of this, because it's happened to me on previous trips, and the locals are just so friendly, and they want to help, and they're just wonderful people. So the breakdowns I wouldn't worry about too much. And if you have any questions about things like the route or the places I visited or the motorcycle or the roads or maybe some of the other roads maybe I've been on in Cambodia, just go into the comments and just ask me, and I'll be very, very happy to reply. And also, please like this video if you enjoyed it. In any case, you can look forward to more videos now that my master's degree is over, and I really hope you enjoyed this one. Have a great day.